Hello my friends, welcome to Reddit Rabbit. Before we start, catch the rabbit at the bottom right corner, smash that subscribe button and leave a comment. Just rolled into the shop. I replaced a battery last week in a customer's car and she is trying to claim the battery is causing weird things to happen to her car now. This morning, she said the red line was never there before the battery was replaced and wants a refund. Lord help me. Best one I ever heard was a lady asked me if we put her windshield in backwards because there was a shadow on her dash. All we did was change the oil and rotated the tires. Did you freaking move the sun again? What did I tell you about this? Shut up about the sun. You painted my car wrong. Sir, this is a car wash. No, this is Patrick. Did she expect a shadow on the other side instead? Or did she expect the windshield to be a source of light on her dash? I'm so confused by how she arrived at shadow on dash equals windshield is backwards. What would the windshield installed correctly do? Bro, why'd you install a red line without her consent? Now she can't peg the needle with same confidence as before. You totally ruined her driving experience. I think the least you can do is replace her car. Make sure to send her kids to college too. You Changed my battery and my cousin got pregnant. Pay me child support. Shouldn't have left your slut cousin in the car while we checked her fluids. I mean wiggled the headlights. Wait, what was it we were supposed to replace? On the car I mean. I won't lie, I might have honked your cousin's horn. Shouldn't have used the ugga I guess. God bless people who work in any kind of retail. After working in a bank, I told people, I've met the public and I'm not impressed. A scene from my last job. Sees woman trying to crawl over a barricade instead of walking to the park entrance 50 yards away. Me. Good morning ma'am. The entrance is over that way. Make sure you check in at the kiosk. Huh? Alright. I do not. I walk 20 feet, turn around, and she had simply continued to scrabble over the barricade. I realized then and there that humanity is doomed. Why walk long when you can walk short? People like to do things the hard way by their choice than the easy way by someone else's decision. Frick, I feel this. Roommate. Just take multiple trips. Me. Spending 10 minutes trying to figure out how to carry all the garbage in a single trip. I'm guilty of this too. My coworker. You know you could get this bolt out easier if you just take out the flap in the fin dowel and go at it from below. Me. Frick off, I've done it like this before, I know what I'm doing. 15 frustrating minutes later, I do what he says and get those annoyingly placed bolts out in 15 seconds. You stole her 2500 RPMs of red line. Just admit it. And now the VTEC can't kick in. Not the VTEC. Take my eyes. Not my VTEC. Imagine if one keeps stealing 2500 RPMs from each customer. That mechanic would be unstoppable. I've had frickwits like this before. I just tell them I will pay for everything, but that can only be taken away by a factory scan tool and they have to take it to the dealership and tell them everything. Explain completely what the problem is and I will give her a refund, but only when they have a written report for me and I never see them again. Brilliant. This needs to be in a training manual. That's gonna backfire when one day they come back from the dealership with a full retoupe and a $2,500 receipt for replacing the instrument cluster. Tell her to get fricked. She isn't getting a free battery by playing stupid. Remarks like this make me wish mechanics can make people retake their driver's license test. The Court of Mechanics finds you guilty and sentences you to 4 new tires. No, they cannot just be patched up, lady. How many times have I fantasized about being the sole driver's license authority, like the emperor of driver's licenses? The one dude with the power to emit and revoke licenses instantly. Traffic would be cut by at least 85% within weeks and make the roads a very safe place. Had a lady keep coming back saying her headlights were too dim at night. Every time we checked they were bright as normal high and low beam. She came back again saying they weren't bright enough to see at night. I turned them on and she said, "What did you just do?" I said I turned them on. She said, "What do you mean you have to turn them on?" She had been driving the car for 2 years with just the daytime running lights. It wasn't the headlights that weren't bright, it was the owner. Daytime driving lights are generally a good idea. It's idiots like these that make it a terrible feature. They refuse to learn how to operate their lights. I guess assuming daytime driving lights means headlights on all the time. They're not wrong, I guess, but they ain't right either. Go pull the battery out, give her the money back and tell her she can leave. Show her the owner's manual. Huh? No. This picture you're showing me of the dashboard shows that where I'm telling you it turned red is actually black. Change it back to black just like it is in the book, please. You may need sock puppets to explain the no-no zone. That's the vroom boom zone. If you play in the red too long, vroom can turn to boom and it's dead. How I explained it to my kids on the go-kart before they were old enough for the tech talk. I'd like to see a go-kartochometer. I worked at an AutoZone in college part-time. Had a lady come in and say she wanted a battery warrantied out. Okay, no issue. How old is it? She says 2 weeks old. I inform her I have to test it in order to warranty it and she tells me her dash lights have been dimming and it's definitely the battery. Okay, in my head I'm thinking maybe alternator. Go and test it. Battery is like 50% charged and alternator checked out good. She starts complaining and my boss just okays a warranty. I do and as I am walking back and she stops me and says it's happening again. I must have installed a crap battery. So I say, tell me exactly what is going on. She starts her car and I look at the dash. And after a couple seconds the lights dim down. She says, see, there is an issue. I look on the dash and see the dimmer adjuster and put it full brightness again. She tries to argue some more about the battery. At that point I just walked inside, told my boss and took lunch. That is the correct thing to do. I worked in a similar store and had a guy come in for a battery for his Miata. He looked at the battery, then me, then started berating me for trying to sell the wrong battery to him. Miatas literally take a lawnmower battery. I explained that it's the correct battery and showed him in the catalog that I looked it up correctly. He started complaining again saying, well, when I go home and go to put this in, and it's not the right one, who's going to deliver the right one? Because I'm not coming back for your frick up. I told him I would personally deliver and install myself. Apparently some guys don't like it when a girl offers to do their automotive work for them. He left, then called about 20 minutes later. He's screaming and yelling saying that it's the right battery, but it's defective. He installed it and now there's no power whatsoever. I tell him it won't be a problem. We have another battery on the shelf and I will test it before bringing it to his house. Then I'll install it for him. I told my boss that I was going to head over to do this. She fully supported making a fool of idiot customers, and I started testing the replacement battery. Just as I was walking out the door, the customer called again and demanded I put him on speakerphone. Luckily, the store was empty so I obliged. I, idiot customer, am a dumbass. I did not believe as you wish when she told me that I had the correct battery. Furthermore, I tried blaming her for selling me a defective battery. Instead, I was an idiot and did not take the red protective plastic cover off of the battery post. I will never doubt her again. You have found the needle in a haystack of customers. A vast majority of people don't have the guts to admit they were wrong, especially to a retail employee they recently berated. It was weird. I never would have expected him to do that. I wonder if maybe his wife pressured him into doing it. Even though it's been over 10 years since that happened, I still remember it clearly. I don't think that even God can help you there. How is it possible that people have either just such an incredibly low knowledge of technology or are asshole enough to pull off it like this for maybe $30? If it takes her 3 hours to get her refund, she got less than minimum wage from being a dipit. Same people who follow GPS down boat launches and into the water without questioning it. Dwight, is that you? If you have any documentation or video of you doing the repair, I would just say frick you. See you in court. Nobody got time for this. Hopefully she finds someone else to troll. There is no way she is gonna spend $1,000 to start a case that her lawyer might tell her is a waste of time. You underestimate people's stupidity. How can people this retarded be allowed to own a car? Terrifies me that people like this are on the road. Driving is a lot more casual in the US. Because a lot of places are built around car use and things aren't really walking distance, so the barrier to entry is a lot easier to get through compared to places like Germany or Netherlands. This is something hard to explain to many European countries. And other places that are compact like that. Everything is stretched out here. We have a ton of land mass. Unless you live in or immediately near a major city, you basically need a car. Driving a half hour or more to places is common. Heck, I drive 45 minutes each way. 38 miles. 61 km. I do still think we need better education and requirements to drive a vehicle, however. Everyone should at least understand and know the basics of a car and its maintenance. It's scary to think that after a basic skill test they're qualified for life to drive with no further training or testing required. Think part of the issue is, because cats in the US are so necessary and central to living and culture, people see driving as almost a good given right. I agree on the necessity of cats.